Getsemenina Christo Yerashasi Viase Bonini Naye Adeswa Nichiso Arire Hushe Nakumaso Naokase Sebetumia makuei nchemeo Oponisue ni monyambe simane Opreniwase kosiase nianu Achichieni oyamu osinebu dinikratuho seyadasa benyakwa
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another day, a new day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made, that we should all be glad and rejoice in it. You don't like this day, which other day would you prefer? Today is yet another episode of From the Beginning. One may ask, what is from the beginning? It's life experience. Your life experience may help shape another person's life. Someone who is stuck up there, who doesn't know where to go, how to call himself or herself up to pick up life back. But today's episode will let you know what you have to do if you want to be a nurse, or if you've had a taste of nursing and you don't know where you are heading towards. A living legend in nursing. Who is she and where is she taking us? This afternoon, we are blessed to have our precious mom, auntie, sister to join us at Richmond Media. She is no other person than Mrs. Eunice Mensah. Auntie Eunice, you're welcome to Richmond Media.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sister Bimah.
We are blessed and pleased to have you on this platform.
Mm.
I know you, but not very much. But there are some people who might not have even seen you before or even heard of you before. Could you please tell us who you are? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, listeners and viewers. And Sister Bima, thank you very much for according me this opportunity to come and share my life story, how it all started and where I am now. So, yes, my name is Eunice Mensah, married to Mr. Mensah. I was born in the eastern region of Ghana, a small town, now a big town. Then it was a small town. It's Boso, called Boso. They say Enum Boso, but Enum is a town on its own, and then Boso. So I was born there, and I grew up a little bit, but probably the first couple of years or 3 years of my life, yes, I was there, whilst my mother actually went to complete her teacher training. You know, those days they do set B and then they go and do set A. So she left me with my grandmother, together with my brother, may he rest in peace, Professor Didi Ubri, the two of us. So when she finished her set A, then she came for us. And her first station as a trained teacher was Oyarefa. Oyarefa was then a small village on the way from Accra to Ebri, so Accra Ebri Road. So that was where I started my primary education. Being the daughter of a teacher, or being my brother, because we were a teacher's children, we were just allowed to walk around, even though 3 years old, my name wasn't in any book, but I was still sitting in the classroom and all that. And so I think I started class 1 when I was 4 years old, because as you know, Manu yapi yapi kakra. See, so I just pushed me, and but then, well, my brother left me and went to class 2, and I had to stay class 1. I repeated class 1 because they thought I was too young. Anyway, so my mother, being a teacher, she was then transferred from Oyarefa to Dodowa. So I continued my primary education at Dodowa Presby Primary School. So I don't know if I should stop there or continue.
No, you can continue with your educational level.
Education, okay. So we were in Dodowa for 6 years. So I went up to primary 6, and then I continued to the Shy Girls Middle School, also in Dodowa. I went to Form 1 and Form 2, and then I sat the then Common Entrance examination, and then I passed. And that same year, my mother was again transferred from Dodowa to Somanya, Yellow Krobo. So that was when I started my secondary education. I started with at Universal College. Those who know the history, was then Universal College. Then I changed to Yellow Krobo Secondary Commercial School. So I finished my O level there, and I took a year out, and then I went to Takrady. I applied and I got accepted to do diploma in business studies at the Takrady Polytechnic. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell, where I got to in Ghana. Education, background in Ghana. So I qualified as I had a diploma in business studies, secretarial options. So I was working as a secretary. In fact, I did my national service at the Ghana Aviation Authority. And then after that, I worked with a small company for a short time. And then I went to the South Ghana Conference of SDA Church. I worked at the head office at Circle. I was a secretary. I was the secretary to the then president, Pastor Eboboni. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
in a nutshell, that's my educational background in Ghana, how it all started.
Okay. Thank you so much for that equipment that you have given us, because it tells me that you are very equipped with so many experiences from one school to the other and then up to South Ghana Conference. I remember Pastor Ebobane because he used to come to Hansen Road. So I remember him. I don't know if he's still there or he's not, but
Oh,
wherever
he's
he is.
retired. He's a very old man now. Yeah.
So from there, at what point did you come to UK?
Right. I came to the UK in 1989. 1989, November 1989. That's when I came to the UK. In fact, or maybe I'll talk about that later. So I came to the UK in 1989. And when you come to the UK, you're coming like, okay, I'm a secretary, and then I'm in the UK now, so I'm gonna find a job as a secretary, and then you're hit with the reality. When you come here, you can't even understand when they talk to you. You're like, huh, excuse me, so as was the case with many of us, you start with the cleaning job or whatever you can find to do. That's what you do. So that's what I did for some time. And then, things started falling into place. I started upgrading myself. I went to Lewisham College to do IT, a little bit of IT. And then along the line, I found a job as a customer service personnel with W.H. Smiths. I worked with W.H. Smiths. And then from then on, what did I do? I wanted to buy a car so badly and I needed a second income. And so I found a friend of mine introduced me to a newly opened nursing home to do night shifts. So I was working during the day with W.H. Smiths, and then at night I would go to the care home and then do night shifts. I mean, it was mind-boggling how I was able to do that. But yes, I did. And so going back to my education in Ghana, when I was in the secondary school, I so much wanted to be an accountant. But I was so bad in mathematics. And then that aside, the accounting principle, I simply couldn't understand it. As he said, credit the giver, debit the receiver. And I'm thinking, one is giving goods and receiving money, and then the other one is giving money and receiving goods. So who is the giver? Who is the receiver? I got so confused. So I said, But I was so good with the arts, the reading, and all that. So then that's why I branched off to do the secretarial thing for my O level. And then the reason I went back, when I was in Form 5, preparing for GCE, and my main subject, because I wanted to do secretarial thing, the main subject, which is shorthand and typewriting, that was when the influx of Ghanaian teachers to Nigeria was happening. So we didn't have tutors to tutor us. What am I going to do? This is my future. If I can't pass shorthand and typewriting and business studies, what am I going to do? So I decided to apply to go to nursing training. Somebody came to speak to us about the options that we have. You can apply, go to nursing training, this, that. I said, okay. So I actually applied and I got accepted into Cape Coast Nursing School. I got the prospectus and everything. And then what happened? I chickened out. And then the reality is like, am I really going to be a nurse? I can't stand blood. What am I going to cope when someone dies? I can't deal with death. So it became a thing. I had to struggle to make a decision. But as God, our faith will have it, we had a teacher who then took us through all the secretarial subjects and everything. And then I actually got my O level, and then I abandoned that nursing thing. And then I went to do my diploma in business studies. So then when I was working as a healthcare assistant, that desire, which I had, because, you know, with nursing, you have to have a desire to help people.
That's
It's not
true.
just you know, it is a profession, yes. It is a career, yes. But you need that extra to be a good nurse. Let's put it that way. And I knew in me that I had that. So when we were advised to apply to nursing training, it was okay, yeah, I can do it. So now I'm confronted with, you know, here am I in the UK. I'm not working as a secretary. I'm not, you know, I did other jobs. WS Smith, and I worked as you know, victim support. I worked with them. I was a data entry person. So I was still enjoying a little bit of what I would have wanted to do, you know, if I had actually gone ahead to do courses on that line. But then here I'm in this country now, and it is not what you really want to do, but it's what is available and what is easy to get in and what pays, you know? So I said, okay, maybe, just maybe, let me go back to nursing. So that was how I decided to apply to go and do my nursing training. That's how it all started. Yeah. So I did the application, and God being so good, I didn't have to do access to nursing. It was my background, my qualifications from Ghana, the fact that I
Yeah.
did health science and all those things, and also my 3 years experience as a healthcare assistant. So that just took me through. I went to the interview the same day. They gave me the my answer the same day, replied the same day that I've got it. So that's how I started my nursing training at Greenwich University.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Auntie. So, when we talk of nursing, who is a nurse at all?
Who is a nurse? So a nurse is somebody who has decided to take upon themselves to help support and look after somebody in their most vulnerable states. Most vulnerable states. We have now, because it's a profession and it's got so many specialities. Yes, we do have so many specialities, but the basic line or the bottom line is a nurse is a nurse. You look after people in their vulnerable states.
Um, People think nursing is just a mere thing. What do you think about nursing? Is it just a mere thing, or is it a profession to you?
To me, yes, nursing is a profession because it has been made so. Previously, bedside nursing was more, you know, hands-on. You do, yeah, you know, the skills, and bedside nursing, hands-on. That was more of it until nursing became more academic, like 50-50. You have to do the academics 50%. You have to pass the what we call the placement, the bedside. But what I would say is, so in that sense, it makes it a profession because you need the qualification. But I always say that if your only motivation to be a nurse is money and that career and then the progression, then I'm sorry, you're not called to be a nurse. Yes, you need to be paid because you have to live. Yes, you need to qualify because yes, it is a profession. You need to maintain it. That's why we have all these mandatory trainings that we do, and then there is a progression, career progression. Yes, you can go ahead, be a manager, be a matron, that is all there. But if you haven't got that other motivation, as in, I want to stand in for this person. This person, if they had their own way, they wouldn't let me see their nakedness. They wouldn't let me clean them up. They wouldn't let me wipe their noses, wipe their mouths. But because of that extra I have in me, I will do that joyously, even though the reward I get in the name of salary does not, and I'll spell it, equate to what we do as nurses. So nursing is not just a career, not just a profession, but it's a calling. That's how I see it. It's a calling. We have so many nurses. You work with people and then you question what really made this person decide to be a nurse. And I can tell you, I was on a interview panel. We're interviewing somebody, why they chose to be a nurse. And then the answer was, because I hear they earn more money.
Oh, really?
Straight away, her name was struck
There's
off.
no money in
Because
here.
if your only motivation is the money that you get as a nurse, then you're not equipped for the job. So yes, that's what I can say. A nurse is somebody, selfless, committed. Even when it's time to go home, that patient needs that medication. Your time is up, but you want to, make sure that patient is comfortable before you walk out. And sometimes when you're off duty and your colleagues are sending you messages, we are short-staffed. I know you have to look after yourself as a human being. Yes, I'm not saying put yourself all out there, sacrifice your life. And no, you have to look after yourself to be able to be there to look after the vulnerable. But always that going the extra mile for the comfort of your clients, of your patients. So that is who I will call a nurse or a good nurse.
Thank you so much. Because I ask you this question, so some people, oh, not previously I could hear, oh, nurse there, sir, and nurse there, oh, so we dear. But when I got myself in it, that's how I got to find out that it is something valuable, but not as people are thinking the way that profession is, the way they hear about it. It's not just a mere thing. So if you are NS, please, we have some comment from Brother Akon George says, good afternoon, really love this show. Thank you, Sister Bimah and Richmond Media. It says, fantastic key point. Nursing is really a call and not money banku, but the good outcome always gives us the joy. Thank you, Brother Akon. Auntie, Joe, you were not practicing nursing in Ghana, rather in the UK. How do you find nursing life in the UK compared to Ghana from what you have heard and from what you have seen previously when you were in there? Thank you.
Right. So in Ghana, I didn't know any better. I had nothing to compare with. So we just went with the flow. You go to a hospital and they shout at you and then they bully you and they do all that. Okay, fine. That is the norm. Because there was nothing for you to compare to and say, this is not right. But then having been here, being in the UK and being a patient before being a nurse, I can say that we have a long way to go in Ghana. Every time I go to Ghana, one of my daughters, she's always suffering with one ailment or the other. So every time we go on holiday, something will happen, and then we will go to a clinic or hospital. And sometimes I sit quietly, and I'm not one of those people to be obnoxious or question or kind of challenge. I don't do that, but I just sit quietly and I observe the way they work in Ghana, bringing into focus, sharply into focus, the customer service that is non-existent when it comes to healthcare delivery in Ghana. It is so sad that somebody come in as a sick person, a vulnerable person, somebody in need, and you have taken an oath. I don't know if Ghana, they take any oath or they take any whatever as a professional. You have to be there for your patient. You have to be your patient's advocate. Apart from giving all the injections and the medication, you advocate for your patient as well. You look after the patient's family as well, not just the patient, their family. And I look at the way my brothers and sisters practice in Ghana, it makes me sad, very, very sad. And then it looks as if they've all got their pin, I don't know. But you and I, you work as a nurse here, you and I know that pin, you step out of line and you lose it. But I don't know if nobody actually enforces practicing according to the professional code in Ghana. It's so sad. You look at how nurses and doctors, they shout on patients. And I'm thinking, wow, this is not care. This is no, it's not right. That is the only thing I see being different. The way they practice their protocols, and then how the treatment plans and all that may be different, but the goal is the same. But to be honest, the customer service, I call it in quotes, is non-existent.
Thank you so much. So, Ghanaian nurses and doctors, healthcare professionals, this is to all of us. If we are here giving better care to our families and friends around us within UK, then we should expect you also to give better care and treatment to our family and friends over there. They are your own friends and your own family members. So please, we encourage you to treat them with care and compassion. That is what the call means, not the opposite. Auntie, be a legend in nursing, because I know when you started nursing, you had a target, something that you wanted to achieve in nursing. Do you think you have met it at this point? Thank you.
Okay, so when I started nursing, okay, so I wanted to look after people, right? I got into it to be able to look after my family, to be able to prepare for my old age or my pension age. I would say I haven't been able to reach where I would have, because I know maybe that will come later. Maybe you ask for challenges, and but I can chip that in now. Things haven't been plain sailing for me as a person, and I don't sit and pity myself, because I serve a God who has a pathway for everybody. Some people, in the morning, their blessings are just flowing, just like that. Whatever they touch, they get the result they want. But with me, I have struggled in life. In fact, if I have to step back a little bit, when I was going to, because my mom was a single parent when she was looking after me. So when I finished O level, she said, Ajwa, it's okay. You have to look for a job. I called my mom Sisi. I said, Sisi, no way. I have to continue my education. I forced myself to go to Takoradi Polytechnic. When I was going, the student mattress, I didn't even have it. I had bed sheets, but faith, I went. Anyway, fast forward, my health has been an issue. I've had a lot of problems with, in relationship, and that sets me back as well. And not being experienced as I am now, or not being wise as I am now, and not being spiritual as I am now, I let that retard my progress. So I couldn't really forge ahead quickly as I would have wanted to. And then my health as well. From 2008, I suffered with this debilitating back pain that nearly made me pack in my nursing profession, pack it in. By the time I got to a manager I had, and she said, you can do it. Rather do courses that will take you up, that, as the saying goes, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. You have less patient contact, and running around less. And that's exactly what happened. I did it, but it took so many years for me to get to that point. So if you ask if I've been able to achieve, I would say relatively, yes and no. Yes and no. If I hadn't been plagued with certain things in my life, probably I would have been further than I am now. But hey, I'm grateful to God for where I am.
Amen. If that
Amen.
is the case, when the gratefulness is showing on your face, then who has been your inspiration and a motivator, please?
Hey, inspiration. Who has been my inspiration? I think if I mention one person's name or two people, it's going to be a problem. A lot of people have actually supported me through the problems that I was going through. But I would say that I was my own motivator. It's like, Eunice, just get up and go. There's nobody to do it for you. You have to do it. And people around me would say, yes, oh yeah, yes. So I won't mention anybody's name as this person motivating me, but I had people who supported me through. If I speak without mentioning, may he rest in peace, Pastor Dr. Ebenezer Osaki and wife here in UK. They were really a great support for me. Elder Joseph K. Brew and the wife, they were a brilliant support when I was going through issues. Sister Rebecca Samoa, Mrs. What's her name? Janet Jesse. To mention a few, and I've got this friend in Ghana. Her name is Mrs. Mavis Afuakwa. She is a motivator in a way, not for the profession, but in life. Like, whatever the hurdle is, come on, jump over it. And the next one may be easier for you because now you've gathered the momentum. So you go over the first one and go over the second one. So yes, but the greatest motivator, the greatest encourager, the greatest supporter, the greatest is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen. We thank God
Amen.
for how far He has brought you and everyone around you. There is not long ago when the pandemic struck in our lives that we didn't know what to do, but the Lord has made it possible for us to live with it, and things are getting better now. Do you think that has affected you in a way that you want to share with us, especially in your profession?
Okay, COVID, right. So when COVID happened, um, there was fear everywhere. And I remember when we were told, because I now work in the district, I'm a neighborhood nurse lead in the Lewisham and Greenwich NHS Trust, and I've been working in the community for about 18 to 19 years now. When we had the message that we may be going out to diagnose people who are exhibiting the symptoms of COVID, the shivers that went down our spine as nurses. But with me, people advocated for me because I don't mind sharing, because this is me and this is my story. It's out there already. Because I am a cancer patient, I didn't have to go to diagnose the patients. But then we had patients that we had to go and look after who have been discharged from hospital, who had COVID, who were still exhibiting the symptoms. All I said is, I prayed to God. I said, God, I am going. Cover me with the blood of Jesus. That is there. And then all the PPE that we have to use. And I will say that I am very proud to be a district nurse, because our patients never stopped praising the district nurses. They will say when COVID hit, doctors didn't even bother. You can't go to the GP. GP won't come to you at home. I don't know whether it happened everywhere, but in the neighborhood that I worked, it wasn't easy at all to get a GP to visit a patient. But we district nurses never stopped going to see patients. And in my team, we all caught COVID, all of us. But I'll say with pride and joy that we all survived. In fact, okay, all but one. One of our colleagues who was an agency staff, and he was well advanced in age, nearly 70, and he had underlying conditions. So COVID claimed his life. But all of us, we were all touched by COVID, but we never, ever stopped going to see our patients. In fact, some of us didn't even know that we had a COVID. So we had to go and do that test to see if you have antibodies. That is when we realized that, we caught COVID. So it made me realize when the patients were singing our praises and thanking us and blessing us, and the profession is such that you don't accept gifts from patients, but the patients wherever, I mean, there were patients we go to, and they've got food and drinks ready. I said, nurse, I know you won't take money from me, but please take this for lunch. Please do this, please. And they were so happy because they couldn't see the doctors. Even other professionals weren't going out, like the podiatrists, they weren't going out, but district nurses, we never stopped. So what I have experienced, I'm not saying it's okay to put our lives on the line. We did what we had to do. Spiritually, I did my thing. I don't know what other people believed in. And then we had all our PPE, took the care that we had to do to take, to go and see the poor people who can't take their medication, can't give themselves the injection, the insulin. What's going to happen to them? Their eyesight is poor. They can't do it. And then you say, oh, because of COVID, I'm not going. I don't know who is in the house who may have COVID. We braved it and braved up, and we sailed through COVID. So what I would say is, yes, COVID came, but we did what we had to do.
Thank you so much, Auntie, for putting your life out there. But the Lord has been grateful to all of us for protecting you and people around you as well. Thank you for your love for nursing. Um, that means that was a great challenge. Apart from that, have you encountered any challenges, or what has been your joy for working in the UK as a nurse, please?
The challenges, I think I've touched on some of them. Having uh, back injury,
Yeah.
and being plagued with cancer, 3 different ones.
Wow.
And
Yes.
it
My
gets
God.
to a point you are like, should I carry on? Should I stop? And also, I know it is in every profession, not just nursing. And a lot of people will bear me out. The struggle, that is not your motivation anyway, but then to be recognized for who you are and what you give out sometimes is an issue. And then it takes somebody to step in and say, come on, this person has been marking time and this at this grade for so long. Why are they not being, kind of, yeah, but I never went forward to fight for anything, but at the appropriate time, I was always given the green light to go ahead, to go, to the next grade or to the next level. I wouldn't call it a challenge. It's all part of it. And my health challenges, that's fine. That's okay. That is under control. But the joy of being a nurse, I'm telling you, when you're leaving as a district nurse, I remember when I was on the ward, that uh, a patient's daughter with her behind the curtains will come out and come and call a nurse, come and wipe my mom's nose for her. And I'm thinking, really? Is that your mom? Are you really the daughter? But when the patient is going home and they call you and they say, thank you so much for looking after me. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Now, being a district nurse, I'm walking out of a patient's house and the patient is asking me, nurse, when are you coming back? To me, that joy that I get in my heart, knowing that I'm making a difference to somebody's life. Sometimes I don't even know me and my back pain, I crawl to go up the stairs. And sometimes when I go to my patient's house, I crawl to go up the stairs. They don't see me anyway because they are out there, they're up there in their room, and I'm going up the stairs to see them. One day a patient saw me. Nurse, are you okay? I said, yeah, my back just clicked. So, oh, nurse. And to me, the following time I went to see the patient has got me a lotion. Nurse, this one will be good for your back. I don't want you to stop coming here. So all I'm saying is that joy, that difference that I make in my patients' lives, that is my joy. The joy I see on their faces, that is my joy.
Thank you so much for the joy that you have in working as a nurse. So, what are some ideas, or if someone wants to be like you as a legend in nursing, Nurses, we don't celebrate our legends, but I think this is the time that we have to recognize, to acknowledge the people that have been in the working environment, in the profession for so long. It's through their works that some of us have also joined, but there are others that are yet to join. So if we recognize you, the ones that have already taken the steps ahead of us, others, the ones that will come behind us, will also recognize us. So we just want you to know that we do love the fact that you have devoted your life, your selfless time for this work, the nursing profession. We celebrate you a lot. If there is any way that we could recognize you in a special way, I think we will find time for that at a point in lifetime. We just pray that God will give all of you a long life to witness the plans that we have for you in the future. If someone wants to be like you, Auntie, what advice would you give to the person? Thank you.
Right. So if you want to be a nice, you have to question and ask yourself, am I really, really cut for this? Because as I said from the beginning, money should not be your only motivation. And having a stable job is part of it, but that shouldn't be your only motivation. But your motivation should be the difference that you can make to a vulnerable person's life. So yes, you can apply and do a degree. If you look for the entry requirements and you qualify, you can go through that pathway. You go on a degree course, and nursing has now got so many specialities. So when you finish your training, do your 3-year degree, you can decide to specialize in any field. See what you love doing, that you can do best, and then you specialize in that. Or you can be, if you haven't got anything yet, you can be a healthcare assistant. You can start from that level as a healthcare assistant. You do your NVQ levels 2 and 3, and then you go and then do the degree. Or you can also choose the nurse associate pathway. That is also there. That one, you're working and you're being paid. You have 3 days, 4 days practicals and 1 day uni, and then you finish. And when you finish, you become a band 4, and then you can go and top it up and be a band 5, and then after that you can fly off. But always question if you have what it takes, that extra that you have to give, that the money they pay you will not be enough. Patients will be abusive to you, families will be disrespectful to you, but hey, what makes you get up to go to work, to work for, look after such people? You have to have that extra for you to decide then to go and be a nurse. My ambition, which I don't know at my age if I can achieve it, but I wanted so much when I experienced Ghana and their way of practice. I said, God, let me have money to open a clinic in Ghana. Let me show people what we call care, customer service, looking after your patient, their family, their carers. Honestly, you need that extra to become a nurse, not just money.
Thank you, Auntie. With that ambition, I pray that the good Lord opens a way. Now that you have put it out there, someone might be watching you at this moment, someone might be listening to you that wants to tap into your life for you to establish what the Lord has given to you so that your love and care will be able to be transferred to others that don't have those qualities. Brother
Amen.
George, a concise, good work, and very informative speech, Auntie Eunice. Auntie Eunice, we are coming to the end of the program. But there is one question that I don't want us to bypass it. I want us to attempt it before we leave the platform. How have you been able to manage your profession with your family life? Thank you.
um, how have I been able to manage? Anybody who has children in this country will know that it is not easy. But then somehow you got to do it. So you have friends and family circles, and because I'm a Christian, let me put it this way: God, God puts people in your way, and they meet you at the point of your need. So, yes, I've done it by the grace of God. I wouldn't say it's perfect when it comes to the children, because being a professional, you tend to kind of leave them longer than you would normally want to as a mother. But then the balance is not bad. It's not bad. The children are all okay. So yes, it's just sheer determination to succeed either way. So yeah, you just putting your mind to it and having a plan and following it.
Thank you so much. Have you got any greetings or any last points that we want to put out there before we bring the program to an end, please?
Okay, so since this platform goes very far, I would say that if you're in the UK and you're practicing as a healthcare professional in whatever capacity, whether as a nurse or a carer, a doctor, all I would say is please don't let money be your motivation, but give from your heart. And whether you believe it or not, whether you're a Christian, whether you have any believe any religion or not, I tell you what, if you do good, good comes to you. Whether you believe it or not. When you do good, good comes to you. And then my brothers and sisters in Ghana, I'll say, stop insulting the patients. Stop shouting at them. Stop being horrible to them, because they are at their lowest. They are most vulnerable. Remember that one day you might find yourself in that situation they are in, and somebody will look after you. How would you like them to treat you? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Auntie Eunice. And then may the good Lord bless you for the dream that you have in your nursing profession to come to pass.
Amen.
For that to also bless other people who are in need of such blessings. From Richmond Media, I say thank you so much for your time, your love. I really appreciate the fact that today is Sunday. You might have wanted to do some extra to cover some things up, but you have devoted your time for Richmond Media. We say thank you so much. May God bless you and your family for devoting your time for us. To everyone who is on this platform or who has been on this platform, we say God bless you for spending your time with us watching Richmond Media. The same time from the beginning every Sunday. See you again next Sunday at 4 p.m. UK time. My name is Hanna Bimah. God bless us all.
Getsemenina Christo Yerashase Viase bonini Naye Adesoa Nichiso Arire Hushe Nakumaso Naokase Sebetumia Makuei Chameo Oponisue Nimonyambe Simane Opreniwase Kosiase Nianu Achichieni Oyamu Osinebu Dinikratuho Seyadasa